Have you ever wondered how to make mashed potatoes? Well, today you will learn how to make mashed potatoes. And if you already know how to make mashed potatoes, maybe there's a few techniques that you can learn that I've learned from my mom and my wife. So here we go. What do you need to make them? Let me show you. Okay, so mashed potatoes. You will need a pot because you will be boiling them. You'll need potatoes. And you need a potato peeler because you will be peeling the potatoes. And you'll need this plastic bowl or a big bowl. How many potatoes, you ask? Well, it really depends, but I have about different sizes here, about 10 potatoes. Maybe half a bag of russet potatoes. Russet is the best kind, in my opinion, to make mashed potatoes. Some people may disagree with me. You can test it out yourself and try different kinds and decide for yourself. You'll also need sour cream and a stick of butter. Okay, that's one stick. And also you'll need salt and pepper. Also a blender, an electric blender. If you don't have one, you can still make mashed potatoes, but it really tastes better. It's better texture if you have an electric blender. That's what you're going to need, and on we go. Okay, so this is could be the boring part, and that's peeling a potato. Maybe you can get someone else to peel a potato, but if you can't, well, then, I don't know, play some music, make a game out of it. What I try to do is I see how long of a potato peel I can make while I'm peeling it. And I kind of go back and forth. Oh, did it break? No, it didn't. Oh, it broke. So, look at this. Awesome. So I kind of try to make a little game out of it. Very exciting. Very exciting. But I prefer this way of peeling the potatoes than doing this. It's just a lot cleaner. You get big pieces instead of all these little tiny shavings. And if you wanted to, you can actually save the peels and make, baked potato peels with cheese on them or something. I'm not doing that today. I'm just going to peel them and get my potatoes ready for cooking. I won't bore you anymore with the rest of the potatoes. So that's the way it should look, kind of, sort of. If there's a little peel left, it's not a big deal. All right, so I've peeled all the potatoes all by myself. And I rinsed them as well because they got grody stuff on them. Now the next thing is, when you see these little bruises here, you really want to get a little tiny knife and kind of cut those out. You don't want these little bruises in your mashed potatoes. I mean, you could have them in there, but I like to cut them out. So just kind of inspect your potatoes and see if there's any bruises and get those cut out of there. Okay, so what's next? We are going to actually cut the potato into squares before we boil them. That's important because if you can boil them just like this, but it's going to take a longer time, and also the outside ends up baking or boiling, and then the inside doesn't boil at the same time. So you're going to have a lesser done on the inside than the outside. So I'm going to show you how to cut it in the way that actually my wife showed me how to do it. It's really cool. So you cut it in half. All right. Then you cut it in half again. Then you turn it and you cut it in half again. And then you turn it on its side and you cut it this way in half. And you have some nice cut up potatoes. Of course, if it's a bigger potato, like this is pretty big, you might have to do it. You might have to cut it in thirds. So I'm going to do this one like this and like that, and then do the same thing. Turn it on its side. Do like that, okay? And then you have the other two you're going to do them with. Beautiful. Do that to all your potatoes. Okay, so this is what your potatoes should look like after you cut them up. Next thing to do is boil them. So we need to put some water in here. Okay, once you got your water in there, then just pour in your potatoes like that. And I would put it on high because you really want to boil it. Okay, and since they're all cut up, I'd say the boiling, once it starts boiling, maybe about 20 minutes and they'll be done. So we'll see how long it takes. Okay, see you in 20 minutes. Okay, so it's been about 15 minutes of boiling time, not the time they've been in the water. They have to be boiling for about 15-20 minutes. Well, let's check to see if they're done. Okay, so here's the potatoes. You kind of get a fork, and if it goes in real smooth like this, these are done. Okay, if there's any hardness at all, you need to boil them for a little bit longer. Okay, these are done. So we're going to go to the next step now. Okay, so they're done. So bring them over to the sink. Now, if you have a colander, which is kind of like a strainer, this is the kind I have. Sometimes they come in round, but have a colander ready because you're going to drain the water out. You can do that if you want. It makes me feel powerful. Okay, shake it a little bit to get the water out. Okay, I think that's good enough. Okay, then we're going to bring it over to your big bowl. This should be a clean bowl, not the bowl that you put the other potatoes in, the raw ones. And you pour them in, just like that. Woo, that's hot. Okay, then, next thing, we do need to cut these up because then the butter will melt faster. Take your butter, zoom in here, and you want to kind of cut them into pads like this. Okay, once you do that, just put them right in there. Huh, there's a potato that I didn't cut up. That's funny. Okay. All right, then you get your sour cream. How much sour cream do we use? I would get a big spoon like this, like the biggest kind of silver spoon you got. I think maybe that's a tablespoon. What about a couple of them? Okay, about 4 of these. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Don't put these yet, but get them ready. Salt and pepper. Oops. I don't know how that got there. Okay. Have you ever used a blender before? It's fun. If you haven't used it, this is your time to use it. So you could do this by hand if you want. It's not going to come out the same. It'll still work, but this makes it a lot easier. Okay. So put your blender in. You can zoom in on this. Start blending this up. I have it on a low setting. Salt and pepper in it now. So you get your salt. Some people like it saltier, some people don't. So just put as much. It's about what I put. Pepper, you don't have to put pepper. It's optional. I like to put a little pepper in it. Should I blend it? Okay. We're gonna blend this now. I'm going to go a little faster this time. Okay, we're on the high speed. Right. Wow, that looks good. Okay, let's get a spoon, just clean that up a little bit. Okay. taste it. That tastes wonderful. Now, mashed potatoes, you can put more butter if you want. You can put more sour cream if you want. You can put more salt. It's really up to you. So just experiment with it. But this is the basic way you make mashed potatoes. Okay? And it's really a great side dish for almost any meal you're going to have. All right? All right. Hope you do it well. Enjoy.